Hello, I'm Michael Burnett. I'm a fiddler, and today I thought it'd be kind of fun to go over some clips of fiddling in movies and TV shows, and kind of see how accurate they are, or how good the execution is of those scenes. So I've got a few clips here, and I'll kind of go through them. I'm gonna grade them on two things: how the realism and how accurate they are, and two on the overall execution of the scene and in terms of fiddle music. So that'll be kind of my report card. I'll grade each scene on those two things. So here's our first clip. So Sally Gooden, a classic tune. Some dancing going on here. Jeff Bridges. There we go. Arnie. Oh. Okay, so this is our first clip. This seems like it's a setting of like a bluegrass jam in the woods somewhere, or some festival, and we have Arnold Schwarzenegger playing the violin. Well, you never knew he could play that. And I think he can't. But in terms of his miming of the fiddle, it's actually not too bad. I'll just kind of go through it again. It's you can tell he's not really playing, but he is making, pretty decent movement with his left hand and with his right hand. So they're like, it's not, he's not just playing. Well, what he is doing is he's moving the hands to keep the kind of the accuracy of that the notes are moving. He's not just going. So I mean, yeah, he's doing okay. That last going though, when he get that's definitely not what a fiddler would do. But I think that the setting overall, with like he's surrounded by musicians that are actual fiddlers and probably bluegrass musicians, so that kind of adds a little more air of authenticity to him, because they're all really can play for real, and then he's kind of in there, and it kind of makes it seem more realistic. So in terms of accuracy, realism, I'll give it like a B minus. I think I've seen a lot worse, definitely in movies, and so impressive, Arnold. This is from Heaven's Gate. A bit of trivia: this fiddler here is also the composer of the Heaven's Gate movie. Doing some stunts. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was impressive. To fiddle and roller skate at the same time is definitely a no mean feat. And you can tell that he's actually a player. He can actually play the violin. Whether he is actually playing what we're hearing on screen, it's it's probably overdubbed, I would assume, because of all the cuts that are happening. It probably is him actually playing, but in a recording studio, and then it's put over the footage. But it does line up pretty well. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because he's all of his motion, but that's actually a good thing, because that makes it seem more believable, because we can't actually tell exactly what he's doing on the violin because of all the camera panning and all his kind of stunts and crouching down, and while he's roller skating and just going around the circle, and his movement, he's being very exaggerated movements of moving. So, but overall, from this scene, I'm gonna give the realism of the scene, I'll give it an A minus, and overall execution, I'll give it an A. Okay, so he's playing Julia Delaney, classic Irish fiddle tune, just a single fiddler. Yeah, his bow movements and his fingerings are lining up perfectly for that tune. Oh, spoons. I always love it when I'm playing and someone takes out the spoons. That's always really fun. Now, they're very into it. Alright, well, it's a short scene, but yeah, I can tell that the fiddler might even be playing that tune, Julia Delaney. He might actually be playing it live because his bow movements and fingerings were lining up perfectly with what we were seeing, and also it was kind of a rough-ish recording, so you could kind of hear background people, and it seemed like it was a live recording. So, but it's a good tune, popular tune, and the spoons definitely add something to it. There we go, Midsomer Murders, pretty good. I will give it, in terms of realism, I'll give it like a B+, and in terms of an overall scene, I'll give it like a B. I like how the music of the fiddler is also in the soundtrack, the non-diegenic soundtrack of the movie as well. Also the cigarette of the Boron player, very realistic. Oh, and for some context, this is a good movie, Waking Ned Devine, and she is going to phone the authorities. They're all kind of doing this lotto scam, and she's going to be a snitch on them. Oh, there we go. Now, I don't think many Irish fiddle players would go that high. Or hold that note. That's very classical. I like that snarl. Yeah, this is a very good movie. I'd recommend it. Waking Ned Devine, and yeah, the scene is pretty great. It's kind of the climax of the movie, and yeah, you can tell the fiddler. He's a real fiddler. He's a good fiddler as well. Like I don't recognize those tunes, but he's all the ornamentation and everything seems right. And in terms of looks like he actually is playing, and I liked how the fiddle tune was incorporated into the score of the movie as it's kind of building up and how dramatic it is. And finally, when the slow motion phone box is falling off the cliff and the fiddler's up here. But I don't think many Irish fiddlers would actually do that, so it's a little bit more of a filmmaker's conceit. But it does work really well, and then the string snaps right as the phone box falls down, and the string probably. I don't know if doing that would really make a string snap, but you do have, if you're going to snap a string, it's going to be the E string, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that would happen. But overall, really fun scene, and I love how everyone's reacting off the fiddler, like they're getting so into that music, and in different reactions. Some are like the snarl of the guy, like it's almost getting a little bit ugly, and sometimes that can happen with fiddle music. You can kind of, it can get off the rails a bit, but then you gotta bring it back. So overall, really great clip. I'm gonna give it, in terms of accuracy, realism, it's obviously not super realistic. I'll give it maybe like a B minus, but in terms of an overall execution of the scene, I'll give it like an A. Yeah. He's very... The bow movements are okay, but you can tell that he's not super comfortable with the instrument. He certainly would not be playing as well as this sounds. Just that sort, you know. It's a cool scene. Cool tune. Yeah. Look at where his bow is. So, yeah, overall, I mean, Billy Bob Thornton, he did an okay job of kind of mimicking. Obviously, he doesn't actually play, but, you know, he was trying to at least line up the bow movements. Well, that's kind of, I think, the most important thing when you're trying to fake playing the violin is the bow. But overall, you can tell he's not really a player. He's very tight. That's what you can tell when someone's not a real violinist or fiddler, is that they'll be super concentrated and they'll be always like looking down here. And whereas most you know, confident players don't always have to be like that, and they won't be that tight. It won't look that tight, and then this bow is all over the place, and your bow won't be like that. That's just what happens when you start out sometimes. So overall, in terms of realism accuracy, I'll give it like a C+, but in terms of the overall scene, I'll give it like a B+ for that. Ooh. Cut off his finger. Yeah, so in this movie, the fiddler, played by Brendan Gleeson, and yeah, he cuts off his fingers one by one throughout the movie, and so until he can't play the tune anymore. He can actually play the fiddle, and he has that sort of, it's a little bit rough, but it's still that sort of traditional Irish style of fiddling with those sort of those ornaments. So in terms of this, yeah, in terms of accuracy, realism, at least when it comes to the fiddle part, I'm not about maybe the whole story of the movie, but in terms of the fiddling, yeah, it's like an A, and in terms of execution, I give it an A as well. All right, well, that is some fiddling scenes in movies and TV show or two. I hope you enjoyed this little look into some fiddling scenes and how fiddling is portrayed on the big screen. It's kind of a little bit interesting to see what they got right and what they got wrong, and thanks for watching.
Haven't a worry, haven't a care, feel like a feather that floats on air, then has a fiddle and ready for love.